joins us from her home in Glendale. Is that correct?
I live in Lockingham.
In Lockingham, Flint Ridge, yes. Nearby Glendale. And someone who comes to this race with a long background in the law from a slightly different direction. But Deborah Archuleta is a new member of our club, is going to share with us her reasons for running and hopefully her effort to secure our support in her race. Deborah Archuleta.
Are they running on the same seat?
No, they're running for different seats.
Well, I'm in seat 11 and I'm not moving. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Deborah Archuleta. I am running for seat 11 for the Los Angeles County Superior Court. It's a pleasure and a privilege to join you this evening. I'm sorry I was a little bit late. I was at a bar dinner up in Woodland Hills. So I left downtown, I drove out to Woodland Hills, I stayed for an hour, I paid my $100 and didn't eat the rubber chicken and left. And then I MapQuested to come back towards you so that I could spend part of my evening with you. I am an active member of several Democratic clubs. In fact, I'm leaving tomorrow morning at 6:30 in the morning to go up to San Jose to participate in the state Democratic convention. The reason I am running for judge is that I have been a proud prosecutor for over 25 years. I have areas of expertise in domestic violence, sexual assault, sexual abuse of children, of women, of men. I have done several domestic violence homicides. I used to be in the gang unit. I was the head of the stalking unit for 3 years. I wrote a manual. I prosecuted stalkers of celebrities. I have to tell you, celebrities are fine, but I prefer real people. I prosecuted people that have murdered people in the LGBT community, and that's part of the reason that I'm so active and involved at a variety of clubs throughout the county of Los Angeles. My background is I started working when I was 12. I grew up in Orange County, but my parents were not particularly well off. My dad was he's a veteran from the Korean War. My grandmother was born in New Mexico. She had a 4th grade education, and my grandfather had a 6th grade education. They both spoke Spanish. That was their first language. My grandmother was a maid. She scrubbed toilets and floors and raised people's children and diapered their babies and prepared their meals. And my grandfather was a laborer, a tailor, a mason. They had 4 children. My dad is the youngest. He's going to be 88 in October. He's starting into dementia. I'm trying to run this race and win while my dad is still coherent and lucid. I had a difficult family conversation today with my brother and sister because my dad's starting to have some issues that are very concerning. But nevertheless, I'm running for judge because it will be the crowning achievement of my father's life for me to do this. I went to college at the University of California in Irvine after being a victim of domestic violence myself. I had a boyfriend when I was 19 that threw me into a wall. I did not know this, but 2 years later I ended up having to have brain surgery because I had a blood clot on the brain. I still have the scar, but the more important thing that came out of it was that I never thought of myself as a victim. So I got my tail together. I went to Fullerton College. I worked as a legal secretary and a paralegal. I put myself through Fullerton College, then I went to the University of California at Irvine, where I got my degree in economics, while working as a paralegal for attorneys all through college and all through law school. I went to Western State University College of Law full-time at night and on the weekends while I worked full-time to support myself through law school. I passed the bar the first time and I joined the district attorney's office as a law clerk and then as a DA. I prosecuted over 110 jury trials, and I'm proud to say that I've lost 2 in the last 23 years, and those are the ones that keep me up at night. My goal is to do justice every single day. There are days that I have not agreed with the policy of this district attorney's office, despite being endorsed by Jackie Lacey, Steve Cooley, Ira Reiner, Robert Philimotion, but I've nevertheless been promoted to grade 4, the top-ranking trial lawyer status in our office the first week that Jackie Lacey became DA. In fact, I saw Ms. Lacey earlier this evening at the dinner that I was at. I've always worked, I'm a proponent of social justice, but I'm also a strong believer in punishment when they are appropriate for persons that violate women, children, LGBT community, and others. I did spend 3 years in the gang unit, but several years ago, and although I think that gangs are an inherent problem, they're increasingly difficult to solve given the nature of the socioeconomic conditions that we marginalized in the LGBT community, women, children, victims of domestic violence and sexual assault is one of the core foundational issues of how we as families, blended families, move forward and carry on in the future. The fact that I was a victim of domestic violence shocks a lot of people, but I've been able to relate to victims, to witnesses, to survivors of domestic violence because they look at me and think, she's a DA, she looks macchiata, she's married, she's got kids, but underneath it all, I have the scar and the CAT scan films to prove the fact that I did in fact nearly die because of domestic violence. So I survived. I have had a fabulous career with the district attorney's office. Like Cindy, I also do search warrant duty. I got called at 3 o'clock in the morning this week with a kind of a silly question, and I didn't have them wake a judge up because they woke me up instead, and I didn't think they had enough probable cause for the warrant, so I let the judiciary sleep. I have been all over the state of California. I've been to San Quentin, Vacaville, Folsom. I would go and do parole board hearings. When convicted rapists or murderers were up for parole, I would go. I was often the only woman. I saw things in Vacaville that I will never forget, like tattooed gang members playing handball in the nude. I just can't seem to get that visual out of my mind. It's 15 years later, I still remember it. I've done about 100 hearings throughout the state of California where the worst of the worst would be at parole. And in those cases, as the representative for the victims' families, I would oppose their parole release. However, I do believe that there is a time and a place for social justice, and I see that as we move forward through a new era in the criminal justice system. Another reason I'm running for judge, as Cindy said, 70% of the judiciary are male, 30% are female, and of that 30%, less than 10% are ethnic minority. Hispanic, Latina like myself, Asian, African American. We live in a diverse community here within the county of Los Angeles and the state of California. We need our judicial officers to represent the people that we see in court every day. I have been in criminal courts now for about 18 years. I've spent time in Pasadena. I've been every court in the county. I will tell you that the judiciary does not reflect the population of the needs of the members of the community that we are serving. I will be direct and honest and truthful. Most of the defendants we see are Latinos or African Americans, and yet the bench is predominantly white. Now, certain groups are making more inroads and making more, striving a little, getting a little better footing and traction throughout the county than others. But I have to tell you, I once tried a jury trial up in Pasadena. I was kind of famous up there. And this young woman, I never like to keep students on my juries because I figure they don't have a lot of life experience yet. They might be intimidated by older people on the jury. The young woman wanted to be on my jury so badly, and I could see it in her. She was oozing enthusiasm and desire. I kept her on the jury. When the trial was over, she said to me, "Miss Archuleta, you have taught me what my passion in life is going to be. I'm going to go to law school and I want to become a prosecutor because you so inspired me." I have to tell you, it has been one of the most gratifying moments of my career. I will never forget that young woman. I still am in touch with her. I'm still in touch with the father of a woman who I prosecuted her husband for the murder of her. He was a former sheriff's deputy who worked on the Montrose search and rescue team. The father lives in Texas. He has donated to my campaign. He told me, "Deborah, when you become a judge in the LA County Superior Court, my entire family is flying out from Texas because we want to be there to see this moment for you. Because without you, we never would have had justice for our daughter." It's these kind of memories that I hold near and dear to my heart. It's not about putting on the black robe and exhibiting power and exerting my authority. It's about administering justice in a way that it needs to be administered. Now, one of the questions you might have is, well, you're a prosecutor. Yes, I am a prosecutor, and let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, my largest support comes from the defense bar. I'm one of 2 deputy district attorneys who's a member of the Criminal Courts Bar Association, which are the downtown trial lawyers. They love me, and you know why they love me? Because I treat them fairly, I treat them with respect, I have a lot of integrity, and they are the largest donors to my campaign, believe it or not. I mean, we're not talking thousands of dollars, but I am so gratified for their support because despite the fact that I'm a prosecutor, I've always treated them and their clients with dignity and respect, and they know that I will carry that on into the future. So I'm married. My husband's been a school teacher for 30 years for LA Unified. We both believe in public service. Our daughter is at the University of Chicago, spending every cent I make. She's pursuing a degree in public policy and economics. And my son is a junior in high school, and tomorrow when I drive up to San Jose for the State Democratic Convention, he wants to look at Santa Clara. So I'm hoping to keep him a little closer to home. My daughter's freezing in Chicago. I let her know yesterday, honey, it was 80 degrees and sunny, and I still miss you, so go home. And I'm taking my son to go look at Santa Clara tomorrow. So this has been a pleasure and a privilege to greet you tonight. I am running in seat 11. I frankly hope that Cindy runs in seat 42 because you could support both of us. I can support her candidacy. She can support mine. We both have unique experiences that we can bring to the bench, but frankly, it's people like she and I that you want up there meting out justice because we live